All right, hello everyone. How's it going? It is Friday night. What's happening? Should be there. We have here Kay and AJ are modding right now. Thank you. Raven Riley is moderating. Thank you. Bo and Wingman is watching on Twitch to switch it up. Nice. Ulans is here. Hans Niskatuki, Paul from Glasgow, Scotland. Pat W. Ruth Grafasi, Marzell. Lucerne, John 1948, Magnus Forsland. Louise, driver from Manchester, England. Wow. Hey, thanks for the bit, Bo and Wingman. Thank you. Louise is here. Cruella. Hetty Silovitz is here. Lois Cox is here. Auric 3D. Ruth Krafasi, Janet Burnett, Cruella, J-Man. Ugh, why are you posting stuff that's not relevant? This is not a news channel, J-Man. If you have news tips, you send them to me on Twitter, not in the Lookner chat. This is not AFTV customer service. Maria's Kitty Cats is here. It's windy here too. Waltham is here. Angelina Knox. Catherine of Sweden is here. Christine Atherton. Cindy Lou. Did I say Kay was here modding? Kay's modding too. Thanks, Kay. Let's see. Joe Hart is here. Over Fear. J.K. Sinar. Pistol Pete. The Apostle Steve. 207 Genfut. PZ Papa Zulu. Croat Shamglin. Sarah Lauren. Laura G. Desi Dez. The Ringa X. P Dub. Unterman. Sarah is moderating over there on Twitch. The HBIC is here. Ben is here on Twitch. Hello. Rob the Hob is here. One Way Street is here. Christine Atherton is here. S. Parsons is here. Denise Balanon from Lake Tahoe is here. Nice. Jimmy ZNJ is here. Zishi28 is here. Hello. Kinetic. Schaff. Vanessa Muller. Paul Malik. Deb is here. Cherry Cola is here. Tracks and Relax. No, we still have moratorium on packages until we do the food cooking stream. Then I can open it up. Oilers Nation is here. Thanks, Rob the Hob. Berenico is here. William Cromer is here. The solar eclipse, I think we're going to be covering the solar eclipse. Not live, but I mean live, but not outside. I'll be doing it on Agenda Free TV probably. I'm sure I'll have footage of it. What time in the day is the solar eclipse? The eclipse might be clouded out, says Derek. What time of day is it supposed to be? Does anyone know? Two p.m. 3 p.m. USA Today. Clouds could be a showstopper. Well, we'll have to see. 4:08 for Vermont, says Joe. So people are saying like the afternoon. Cherry says 2 to 3. So again, what I was planning on doing is I'm guessing I'll have some kind of live footage of it. So I would just cover it like on Agenda Free TV with the live footage. I think that's the idea. That's what we'll probably do. It's on April 8th. April 8th. CNN, will weather spoil your eclipse view? Clouds and rain could spoil the fun. Annie says, I'm in Cleveland and it's in the direct path. Aaron says, hopefully we get to see it in Missouri. Lurker Smurth is here. Hang on. Deb is here, says, I got my glasses. There's a map of the visibility here from NASA. That's too high res. I'll post a link to the map. I'm not going to go through this now. But here's the map. Eclipse map. You can look it up if you want. Eclipse map from NASA. Thanks, Cynthia Moon, for being a member and a moderator. V is here. Desi Des is here. Ripley is here. Polly is here, says, just saw the notification. Austin Gaming says, I'm in New Brunswick, Canada. We are in its direct path. Oh, thanks so much to Berenico gifted 5 people memberships. Thanks, Berenico. Teresa Mize, Alibaba, Joe Hart, T-Sky, and LNG all got memberships from Berenico. Daniel Boberson is here. Yeah, I need to just adjust. It's a little warm in here. I need about 15 seconds. Give me 15 seconds. Hold on. 15 seconds. Thanks, Polly, for being a member too. Speaking of bodies in space, I actually, right before we came on the air, I saw the International Space Station fly over, which I don't know if I've ever seen before. It was really cool. Hey, thanks, Desi Des. That's really nice of you, Desi Des. Thank you, Desi Des. I'm going to tell you what it was like. I took a little video too. Spot the station. They have a site. Watch the International Space Station pass overhead. It's the third brightest object in the sky and easy to spot if you know when to look up. That's true. It is easy to spot. It looks like a fast-moving plane, only flies much higher and travels thousands of miles an hour faster. I was trying to. Boston, Massachusetts. This was the one I saw. No, today is the 29th. This was a good one because it was really high up. What you can see here is right here. So that was tonight. It says Friday, March 29th, 5 minutes, 8:19 Ed 24. That's exactly the one I saw. That's just the one I saw. And it actually got right overhead. It was really cool. So it looks like a bright star, but it moves kind of like a plane moves. And you see it just go across the sky. It takes like 5 minutes to go across the sky. I saw it right before we came on the air. I went out there to see it. I'm going to see if I can show my video of it. Oh, thanks, Daniel Boberson. Hey, Daniel, I'm glad you found the coverage helpful. Thank you, Daniel Boberson. Very kind of you, Daniel. It was really neat. I was like, oh, am I going to be able to see it? But it was really clear. It doesn't, I mean, at least here it looks like a lot of the time it's not that high in the sky because the angle from the angle from the horizon is like, 39, 45, 13. 87 is like almost right dead overhead. It was really good. I took like a few seconds of a video, but it was really cool. And you're looking at it and you're like, I can't believe there's like people on that thing. The space station orbit is 254 miles high, says Google. And you can't, I even have binoculars, but you can't really make out, what it looks like, just looking at it with binoculars. Where is the photos here? Oh, wow, Janet gifted 20 memberships. Look at all the new memberships from Janet. Thank you, Janet Burnett. We got new members like Annie T. Deb is here, Barbara D., Christine Atherton, Oilers Nation, Vanessa Muller, Molassie Flossie, Zipper, Sue N., Crystal Tucker, Patty Cornett, Sherry Smith, Rob K., Daniel Boberson, Katie Girl, LB, Austin Gaming. Make sure you thank Janet Burnett. Kinetic says, I've talked to astronauts aboard the ISS on ham radio. Is that true? Can you do that? Hey, let me play my video. This is my video. I just made this tonight. Let's see if this works. Yeah, watch this. This is my video here. See this thing right here? Hold on. I think this is the International Space Station right there. Right there. How about that? It's not my greatest video, but it kind of like, moves across the sky. As obviously you don't see the stars moving, but it's moving past the stars, and it's brighter than a star. But it kind of looks like a bright star, a brighter than the other stars. And it takes about 4 or 5 minutes. Took about 4 or 5 minutes to get all the way across from one side of the horizon to the other. It was pretty neat. But it got right overhead. Oh my gosh, Baronico just gave a bunch of memberships. Crazy. Hey, thank you, Baronico. Look at all these new members. Jess C, Risenix, Tina, Jenna H, Fierce Warrior, Jenny, Ed Harris, April Coco, Mija. Make sure you thank Baronico. Tropical, Betsy's Barn, Linny Z, Beth Stannard, Me Mom. Wow. Very nice. Thank you, Baronico. It's really kind of you. Polly says to them it doesn't feel like it's moving. Right. Exactly, Polly. I think because it's not what is the way to put this? That's not they're not accelerating. Yeah, so it's in orbit. It's basically in free fall, I think, the way it is. So it gets up to a certain speed so that if it's in free fall, it just the way the physics of it work, it's basically moving like sideways and it's being pulled down, but because the Earth is curved, it never gets closer to the Earth. And I would assume at that height there's hardly any air resistance, so it's just kind of going at the same speed. Like you can be on a train, it can be or a plane. A plane can be going hundreds of miles an hour, but as long as it's not speeding up or going or slowing down, it just feels normal. So it's not accelerating. It's not speeding up or slowing down. In a sense. I don't know what the right way to physically describe this is, but it's basically in free fall. But because of its previous velocity, in free fall just takes it around the Earth like this. That's my understanding. I haven't studied physics in a while, so this is a very non-expertise, rough explanation. Hey, thanks to our new member AJ who mods. Thanks, AJ. Where are our chat physics experts? Our chat physicists. Hey, Big Chill. Good to see you, Big Chill. Big Chill says the ISS went over Virginia the other week and I caught it on my doorbell camera. It's very neat. Hans Niskatuki says the distance to the moon is a bit more than the space station distance. Hans Niskatuki, yeah, the distance to the moon, space station is 254 miles high. Yeah, 238,000 miles. It's about 1,000 times longer to the moon than to the International Space Station. Moon distance to the Earth. Hold on. I'm not doing this right. 238,900 miles. But the space station is 254 miles up. Texas Annie says, I got a D on physics in the 12th grade. Yeah, it is poly. It's crazy. Like, off the top of my head, I would not have guessed the moon is that far. I would have thought it was less. It's about 30 Earths away, says NASA Space Place. About 30 Earths away. Whereas the International Space Station is is that right? Hold on a second here. I'm trying to do my math here. What is Earth's circumference? Like 8,000 miles or something like that? Oh, I was not. No, I meant diameter, not circumference. Diameter. Yeah, about 8,000 miles. So the space station is not even an Earth away. Its space station is 254 miles up. So, it's not that far above. It's not a whole Earth above the Earth even. It's just a small part of the Earth above the Earth. That's interesting. I agree with you, Polly. It's surprising how far away the moon is. Hold on a second. I got to thank a couple people. It's interesting. Geraldine Carstensen gifted up 20 memberships. Wow. Thanks, Geraldine. Richie Vegas got one. Bear X, Squid Ink, Polar Vortex, Stefanos, Cherry Sour, Esperanza, DB, Tony 86, Inaudible Squeak, Judd P. Berthume, Nancy Marsh, Ruth Graz, William Featherston, Cheryl Steele, Barbara McPeak, Vixa, they all got memberships from Geraldine. Gina Alfani did too. That's really nice of you. Thank you. And thanks to Janet Burnett for your support. Thanks, Janet. Wow, you guys are very generous tonight. Thank you so much. I haven't even done anything yet. Haven't even done anything yet. Thanks to our new member, Starfire, by the way, and our new member, Red Squirrel. Thanks, Cynthia Moon, as well. Yeah, Wicked Switch says ISS is basically in free fall, but it's not fast enough to fall to Earth. European Space Agency. Astronauts on the International Space Station are in free fall all the time. Gravity still pulls on the station, but because it travels around the Earth at such high speed, its traveling forwards equals out the falling, and the ISS stays more or less at the same height. The astronauts inside it experience weightlessness, floating around in no particular direction. There's no up or down for them. Down is wherever their feet are. We're talking about the space station because I saw it right before it came on the air. Did a flyover. I saw it fly over my house, fly over where I live. It was really neat. It was cool. I just happened to see a post about it this morning. That's the only reason I saw it. I should message the person. Right here. This was it. I had seen this from Terry Eliason. I was lucky I saw that. I was lucky I saw that post. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. Hey, Megatron is here. Victoria Singleton, Sabrina, Dr. McRib, Liam Grogan, Marissa Pugliese. Kinetic says you should see the ISS through a telescope. It's surreal. I bet it is really cool. People have posted videos and photos of ISS through their telescope. You can check that out if you want. It's really crazy. It's neat. Yeah. Polly says you should make your next trip on the space thing. Strive Research says due to come over where Strive Research is at 9:25 p.m. Well, look, you should look. There's a site online you can go. Spot the Station. I'll post a link to Spot the Station, and you can go and see if it's coming over near you. I just posted that. T is here. Hans Niskatuki says, have you watched the YouTube video where you travel live with sunbeams starting from the sun and passing all the planets with the speed of light? You notice the speed of light is so slow? You mean, well, slow, you mean relative to something else. It's fast compared to a lot of things. My Florida 22 says, I took a video of the ISS as it flew over. Okay to play all day is here. Red Barrel Rider is here. X Unit X is here. Big Ball of Yarn is here. And David Green and Sarah and Big Ball of Yarn are all moderating. Thank you. Big Chill 64 is here. Raven Riley, K-Body also moderating as well. BZ. Thanks to all of our mods. JA&P is modding. Evelyn in Maine is here. Hang on. Wickedest Twitch said, my junior high had a planetarium? Wow. Lois Cox is here. Hello, everyone. I got to move my rug. My rug has somehow sort of slid over. I need to move it this way. Okay. I got to move the rug. The rug has slid over too much. This will be better. Okay, that's better. Much better. Much better. Oh my gosh, more memberships. T-Sky just gifted 20 memberships. Thank you, T-Sky. It's going crazy tonight with the gift memberships. That's so nice of you. Rita W. got a membership. Boss Lulu, Kate, American Prairie Time, Rachel Rinse Repeat, Astro Cosmo. Who else got gift memberships? K Mino, Hey Jude, K Day, Carl Vincent, Wow. Make sure you thank T-Sky if you just got one. Patricia Herbst, Guy S. Story, S. Cub, Cupcake. Cupcake got a membership. Hey, Cupcake, how are you? What's going on, Cupcake? Christine Atherton, SC, all these new members thanks to T-Sky. Thanks, T-Sky. So nice of you. Wow. Extremely nice of you guys. Yeah, it's worth checking out the space station. NASA says the space station is visible because it reflects the light of the sun, the same reason we can see the moon. However, unlike the moon, the space station isn't bright enough to see during the day. It can only be seen when it is dawn or dusk at your location. As such, it can range from one sighting opportunity a month to several a week. Since it has to be both dark where you are and the space station has to happen to be going overhead. It was really neat. Okay. We're getting going now. We're getting going now. One moment here. Cupcake is here from Paris. Some of you remember Cupcake from our Paris trip. There's Cupcake L is Cupcake's channel on YouTube. I got to catch up on your videos, Cupcake. Cupcake posted a couple of shorts. Nice. And then there you can see Cupcake streams there. Hans says the moons of Jupiter live are pretty easy to see, depending on time and position. No, Cupcake is here, Gas on the Brain. She just stopped in. Smoke Steve is here. Okay, so let's talk about some things here. The light hasn't flickered in a week, so we'll see what happens with it tonight. Celtic Forest Fairy is watching from Ireland. So we haven't done a stream on this channel in like a week, I think. When was it? It was the mop stream. Was it the mop stream? Hold on. The mop stream was...
Which?
The mop stream was March 21st. The mop stream was on a Thursday. That's the last stream we did on this channel, is the mop stream. Hey, Christine can see the space station on March 30th. It's worth watching. Watch the mop stream if you haven't. So, yes, there has been a bunch of news, as Lurker Smurf says. It's been such a busy week. Uh, this is what happens. I remember the last time, probably last Wednesday night, I was saying, talking about how we hadn't been on agenda-free TV that much lately because there hadn't been that many big news events. And then everything, it's a crazy, crazy week. We had the awful terror attack. Two really bad things this week: the Russia attack at the concert hall, and the ship thing. The ship crashing into the bridge. Both these like total surprise things. So it was really busy. Really busy. So we haven't even had time to be on this channel. This is what happens. You're on this channel all the time, and then for a while you're not. Thank you, Zipper. It's weird. The day that we covered the Russia thing, there were actually 3 news events because I was going to go on the air and cover, it was like 2 days before the Trump bond deadline. So I was all prepared to cover that. And then right as I was going to go on the air and cover that, it came out that there was going to be a statement about Princess Kate. And so then I actually set up the broadcast, the Princess Kate broadcast, because it was like, this was like a big surprise there was going to be a statement. So I had to rush on the air to try to get on the air. And I actually did it fast enough, and I would have gotten the statement. So we were about to go on the air, and I had the whole broadcast set up and the thumbnail and everything, and people were waiting in the chat. And then, only then did I see the thing about the Russia attack. And I said, well, we have to cover that instead. So I killed the Kate stream, which hadn't started yet. And I started the Russia stream. But I was literally like a minute from going on the air to cover the Princess Catherine thing. And then we covered the Russia thing, and I didn't even know what the Kate announcement was until I finished the Russia stream. I just hadn't even really checked. No, I couldn't cover RFK Jr. because we were covering something else. Oh no, RFK Jr.'s VP announcement came the day, it was the same day as the Baltimore thing, as the bridge. And I had been up all night, so I couldn't stay up to cover it. I would have covered it. I was going to cover it, but I couldn't. Because I had to sleep. Bella's driving. Yes, drive safe, as Marissa says. So really crazy. I mean, this is what happens. These things happen, and you would never predict that they're going to happen. But they kind of just come out of nowhere. No, I didn't cover the Diddy house raids. I didn't. If I had had access to footage like right when it started happening, maybe I would have, but I didn't have access to the footage right as it was happening. So I didn't. I'm sorry if you were hoping I covered that. I think that the Diddy house was the day, just like hours before the bridge collapse, I think. Polly says, I have a feeling that Diddy thing is a lot more to come. A lot yet to come. Yeah, it could. I mean, I could see covering it at some point in the future, depending on what happens. So certainly it's possible. It is possible. Here it's 9:08 p.m. You know, another thing that was going on this past week, which you guys didn't know, is so after the floor mopping stream, this was a stream where I did a review of 2 floor mops, and I did a bunch of mopping, and I kind of got into the mopping. So I was doing a bunch of mopping on the stream, and then I think maybe the day after I did some more mopping off camera, and I did some more cleaning. I kind of got into doing some cleaning because there was some cleaning I needed to do, including mopping. So I did a bunch more mopping. And then I think because I did so much mopping and cleaning, this must have been it, my back was killing me for like 4 days. It just started really hurting. And I think it's because I was just so not used. I don't usually mop. I usually like vacuum, but I don't mop. And I just spent hours mopping and like, you know, dusting things and stuff. And so I think I pulled my back out. It's much better now. But during the streams this week, my back was really bad for a bunch of it. It was not fun. But had to power through. It's much better now. It's almost all better. But for about 4 days, it was bad. Like I could barely walk. But it wasn't like, oh, I pulled it out all of a sudden. That's what it wasn't like that. It kind of just started hurting, but I must have been because of all the mopping and cleaning. Because I just did hours of it. Because I did it on the stream, and then I was like, oh, this is good. I should clean up a couple rooms. So I mopped up a couple more rooms and stuff, and I think I just did too much. Yeah, Alibaba says you didn't pull your back. You just finally used the mopping muscles you haven't used for 2+ years. Yeah, I know. I do think it was using muscles that I wasn't used to using. I used both mops after. Polly says we all go through those things. I could hardly walk after being on my feet at our charity bingo for 12 hours. That's a long time. Jersey Girl says mopping is a workout. Does a heating pad help? I actually used a heating pad last night, which was nice. But it's much better now. It's not all better, but it's much better. I'm not going to get all into this now because I've told this story before, but for years I had very bad back. And it turned out that for me, I was sleeping on a way too firm bed. I thought the kind of bed I like was extremely firm, so I would buy these really firm beds for years. And I would have a lot of back pain. And I didn't think it was the bed. And then I did a little research, and I was like, when I needed a new bed, and I was like, wait a second, maybe I should try something else. And I got a memory foam bed, which was like, you know, little less than medium firm. It definitely had some much more, you know, kind of like normal firmness, which is like less, you know, light to medium. And since I got the bed, that was like 6-7 years ago, I hardly ever have back pain. It fixed my back. So I used to get it like regularly. It's terrible. But this I think I just got because I was just doing stuff that I wasn't used to doing and doing it for hours, and I just did too much too fast. So it's bad. It's really debilitating. It sucks. But I'm feeling a lot better. Man, some of those streams though, It was hard. I was taking a bunch of Advil and stuff. I'm not even taking anything right at the moment. Oh, thanks Red Squirrel 82 for the gift memberships. Red Squirrel 82 gave 5 gift memberships. Thank you, Red Squirrel 82, who gave them to Steve Warrington, B. Colley, Tina, Brandon Johnson, and D's N. Ronald Kim is here. Hello. Hey, Raven Riley's moderating too. Careful with painkillers. Well, I'm not taking that much. I mean, if I have a really painful injury, I'll take some. I needed to. I mean, it was useful to sleep. Flaps 15 is here. Flaps 15 had to fly a Cessna after somebody bought it from Indiana to Georgia. Angelina Knox says, I have chronic back issues. I mean, one suggestion I would have if you have back problems is check out your bed. Think about changing it, because that really fixed it for me. But I'm not a doctor, but that worked for me. The other problem when the last few days, this past week when my back's been hurting, is it stiffens up if you sit in one place a long time. So I would like sit there and stream, and then when I would try to get up, it was totally stiff. I have a memory foam mattress. I have a Tempur-Pedic one, but I've also used just a cheap one by Amazon that works well too. But I really like memory foam mattresses. Squid Ink is here. Flagler Ghost Girl says, I broke a rib from coughing. I'm sorry to hear that. Pistol Beat says, I hurt my back 4 years ago. It comes back about once a year. Nayez Newstone is here. What is Nayez Newstone posting about? Folding Genius is here. Uh-oh. Hold on. Have to time out somebody. James King is here. Hang on one moment, please. Sarah Lauren is here. Okay, so, sorry. Ruth has the same kind of bed. Jeff Hulk Kemp is here. Hello. Oh, look at this. Hold on a second here. I was reading this before. Hold on. David Begnaud from CBS posted about this. I had heard that some people had like died swimming in Puerto Rico. He said, it is very dangerous to swim off the coast of Puerto Rico. There are no lifeguards at the beaches. Pay attention to the advisories and warnings. Last night, a U.S. Marine was missing after going into the water near Luquillo, Puerto Rico. The day before yesterday, a father died trying to rescue his son, who was swept away by high surf. 2 weeks ago, a National Guard soldier died trying to save a drowning man in Puerto Rico. The popular Condado Beach is well known as a dangerous swimming spot due to strong rip currents, rough surf, and jagged rocks. I just heard about that. Angelina Knox says sad. Polly says no more natural bodies of water for me. I don't know if anybody saw it when I was out for dinner with family tonight, and the game was on where we were. They were showing the South Carolina women's basketball game. It was a good game. I don't know if anybody saw that. It's actually really close. South Carolina is like the big favorite in the women's tournament, but they almost got upset. Have I started planning my next trip? Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Jeez. Just hap here. My water bottle fell over. Yeah, we're going to talk about the whole trip thing. I had a couple of ideas for the future. I want to discuss with you. Thank you, by the way, to our mods again. Big Ball of Yarn, David Green, Sarah, K Body, Raven Riley, JANP. Thank you, all of our moderators. Hey, Linda Gordon is here too. Hi, Linda. Oh, I did want to mention, we were just talking about the news last week. We were talking about the news coverage. And you know how, we, on Agenda Free TV, obviously we covered the bridge collapse. And then during the bridge collapse streams, if you saw them, you saw that I had footage of the actual collapse site, like a live shot of the site. That was being shown by this it was this YouTube channel called Stream something live, Stream Time Live. But I got it through Reuters. I had access through Reuters. That's how I could show it. And people are always, it's so funny, people on in the chat, they're always like, show this stream, show this stream, show this. And and I'll say during the Agenda Free TV streams, like, I'm sorry, I can only show what I have the rights to. I can't just steal another live stream, and people will be like, no, you can, it's fair use, which is just absolutely false. So I always have people yelling at me about not telling me to steal other things, which I'm not doing. But I will say today I got a cease and desist letter from Streamtime Live saying you must stop showing and remove all of your videos with our footage in it, because they didn't know I had a Reuters license. So I messaged them and we cleared it up. It got cleared up, so it's no biggie. They were really nice about it too. But my point is, this is, aside from the fact that I don't want to steal things from people, and you're not supposed to, aside from that, you can get your channel shut down. If one of these places that shows a live stream sees that you're stealing it, they can just shut down your channel. Streamtime Live was actually really nice about it, because they were emailing places and they were saying, look, you're stealing our footage. You can pay us for it, but you can't keep using it. They could have filed a copyright claim. Now, in my case, it would have been a big mess because it would have been a false claim and I would have gotten it reversed. But even if you want to steal it, which I don't, you are just risking getting your channel shut down. So I don't want to steal it, but I also don't want to get my channel shut down anyway. Yeah, Wickedest Witch says it's a good example of what can happen. I mean, this is what happens. And if that these are, and I agree with these news channels, with these news footage producers, they need to protect their copyright. So you got to be really careful. And again, I don't do it because it's also not right to do, because it's their content. But you got to be really careful. Texas Annie says, I noticed I used to stream concerts on Mixlr, then got shut down. But the same thing happened with when we were covering Israel and people were showing Gaza footage. From what I understand, channels got shut down or they got copyright strikes because they were just stealing footage, and the people who owned the footage were just like, we're not going to let this happen anymore. Yeah, Pat W says lots of sites were stealing that feed. So clearly what they must have done is I'm guessing they just sent out a ton of cease and desist letters. Polly says, how did those channels get away with it? Well, I don't, it all depends on whether the copyright holder files a claim. I don't know how all of the fair use doctrine and, with like the reaction videos and stuff, what the current thinking is on that. So, but I don't think you can do a reaction video and just show tons of the original footage and kind of just sit there and say something once in a while. Then you're not really changing the footage. It's got to be a transformative use. It's got to be a limited use and a transformative use. I'm not a legal expert, but this is what I've heard. But I'm not a legal expert. But if you just steal something and then put yourself in the corner, and once in a while you say something, you're pretty much just replaying the broadcast then. So. Oh, Peak Time Racing came by. Did I get Facebook cleared up? No, the Facebook thing never got cleared up. Since October, since October, I have not, Agenda Free TV has not been able to put ads on the Facebook streams because we got a message in October. I didn't even get a message. I just figured out like they had disabled it, and I was like, what's going on? Never got a message about it. And I checked my account on Facebook, the Agenda Free TV account, and it said that like our automated systems detected that you were using someone else's material. And it was like a limited originality of content violation. And they said that their automated systems basically detected that I was stealing something from somebody else. And then it was just false because like I use Reuters footage, but I pay for that footage. I own the right to the footage. And when I'm doing it as part of a news broadcast. But so that actually, that was a source of income for years. And because it's Facebook, there's no one I can talk to get it fixed. There's no one. And they've never told me what video or videos it was or what part of videos it was. They have literally never, ever told me any specifics. And by the way, I get all kinds of false copyright strikes on Facebook all the time. And I have to appeal them. I've gotten numerous copyright strikes on Facebook for like when I'm talking on the screen. Like that's how bad it is. So they literally said, our automated systems detected this. They never said what it was. To this day, I have never gotten notification at all from Facebook what content of mine supposedly violated their rule. So there's no way for me to appeal it. I can't write an appeal because I don't even know. And I have written to them multiple times. I've said, can you tell me what content this is that you think broke your rules? Can you tell me? And you can't talk to anyone over there. You can't get an answer. It's the worst. They are the worst. It's the worst customer support. It doesn't exist. By the way, other people have had this happen to them. If you search limited originality of content violation, and you search it, you will find other people who say like, yeah, I have this channel. I just got this thing. I don't know what it's for. I can't talk to anyone about it. It's unbelievable. It's really incredible. But I've been doing this for years. I have put ads on my videos for years on Facebook. I've never had a problem. I've always respected the rules. But to demonetize your channel and literally never tell you any specifics. They just say our automated system detected this. They don't say where or when, and you have no chance to appeal it. Automated systems make mistakes all the time with these platforms, all the time. So now I do know with Facebook that they also hate news now. Because Facebook, Meta, the platforms they own, Facebook and Instagram and Threads, like they don't like sharing news anymore, and they've said this. Oh, what is? There's a manhunt going on the scanner. I'll have to look up for that and see what that is. Peak Time Racing says, yes, I know the feeling. Facebook is so broken right now. It's horrible. Yeah, Peak Time Racing, I know you're a creator and you do stuff on Facebook. I didn't know if you had issues too. Yes, Peak Time Racing says, I get random pages copyright claiming my own content. When I appeal it, I get no response. It's ridiculous. The copyright stuff on Facebook is insane. It's so broken, the copyright system. I actually just got a message from Facebook last week which said something like, we are not going to allow people to abuse the copyright system anymore. I'm sure because of this, it's so broken. I get all of these old copyright claims on my Facebook videos, and I don't even keep up with them anymore because it's just more and more every day. They're for like year or two old videos or 3-year-old videos. And this, when you get these claims, they make it incredibly difficult to see what the claim is about, what content it's about, and it's pretty much always false, and like you don't even know who these claimants are, and people are just abusing the system, and it's the worst. It's the worst. Now, for me though, For me, it doesn't matter as much with the copyright claims on Facebook because people generally don't watch my videos after the fact. But if you're a creator on Facebook and people just watch your videos after you show them, people are getting all these false copyright strikes. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And you get like some weird entity in some other country that speaks in a different language is like claiming your video content in your video from like 4 years ago. It's unbelievable. It's really bad there. It's really, really bad there. Peak Time Racing says, my page is still monetized, but I have like 20 videos that have been claimed that I'm losing money on, and they are my own videos. Peak Time Racing, I have the same thing. And like, I stopped even bothering with the copyright claims on my old videos because not that many people watch the old videos. Peak Time Racing, I get them every day. I have this long list of these copyright claims saying, your ad revenue is like going to somebody else. Although I don't even make ad revenue now anymore, now that they've stopped that on my channel. But it's just, and it's these like random places in other countries. It's this whole big scam. It's the worst. It is the worst platform. They're terrible. And they have no customer service. It's one of the biggest companies in the world. They have no customer service, basically. It's unbelievable. And for creators, it's really in the crapper. It's really, really bad. But it was a significant source of income for the channel. It's just gone. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Believe me, I've tried. Jan says they did the same thing to me. Yeah, it's people abusing the system. They have no one to help you. I could abuse the system if I want to, but I don't. But like, the thing is, people abuse the system. They file false copyright claims and then they get ad revenue off of like other people's videos. And Facebook doesn't do anything about it. Red Squirrel, that Facebook doesn't even allow, Facebook has no live chat support option, and you can't call them. And if you email them about something like problem I've had, they don't respond in the email to it. April says, Zuckerberg doesn't care unless they bring him in front of Congress to answer for his company. I mean, a lot of these platforms have bad customer support, but Facebook is like above and beyond the worst. It is so bad. I can't, so Peak Time Racing says, have you tried streaming on Kick? It's difficult for me to do that because footage I show, I can't, long story short, the news footage I get, I can only show it on limited platforms. There's regulations about where I can show it. So I am limited right now to where I can be on because I'm using news footage. There's regulations about how I can use the news footage. So I can't just go on Kick and do it. I thought about it, but right now it's not possible. Maybe in the future it'll be different, but it's not possible right now. Let me just see, there was a thing that there was like a manhunt on the scanner. Yeah, Peak Time Racing, you can, if you want, I can message you about that later with some more of the boring technical details. But maybe it'll change in the future, but it's like not in my hands right now. Yeah, I got an alert on the scanner that said manhunt. Normally, if it's a manhunt, it's not something I'd be covering. Manhunt. I'm not going to really worried about that right now. Sorry, let me catch up on some of the other comments. Dean R says, I reported my account stolen and the hacker changed password so I couldn't even get into the account. I reported to Facebook and they replied it doesn't violate their community standards. By the way, I'm having a technical issue with my account. I'm having another issue which just involves like the account information and all and the tax forms and all that stuff. And I've been trying to fix it for 2 months and I can't get anywhere. It's just, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's not even a content issue. They're just the worst. It really is the worst. No, Lurker Lemon. This is a Lookner studio. This is the custom studio for this channel. We have a different one for Agenda Free TV. Unleashed Flute says, "Do I have a pager?" I don't think many people have pagers these days. I have a phone. Sparky Pilot is here. Hello. Texas Snack Pack is here. Over there on Twitch. Carney SJ says, my older brothers use Facebook a lot. They love it. Haas McKayfabe is here. Hey, Rockstarity, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Rockstarity subscribed to this channel. How about that? Thank you. TL says, a lot of crafters I watch have had the same thing happen to them. Maverick is here. See, this is this thing that Facebook owns Instagram and Threads, but I think they did this on Facebook last year. We want Instagram and Threads to be a great experience for everyone. If you decide to follow accounts that post political content, we don't want to get between you and your posts, but we don't want to proactively recommend political content from accounts you don't follow. We won't proactively recommend content about politics on recommendation services across Instagram and Threads. And I think they do this on Facebook too. But I think, I think they just kind of like, they don't like news. Anyways, I'm not sure what the Facebook official position is on this now, but yeah, I mean, this is from The Verge. This is from February 2024. Facebook will remove its news tab and stop paying publishers for news. Meta's news licensing deals in the U.S. with outlets like CNN and New York Times are already over, and it will do the same thing in Australia soon. Facebook's news tab launched in 2019 with millions of dollars in content deals for publishers. But in April, it's going away for good. Meta says it will deprecate Facebook News in the U.S. and Australia in April 2024. It won't enter new commercial deals for news, and it will not offer new Facebook products specifically for news publishers in the future. This isn't Facebook's first retreat from news. Anyways, I see signs that Facebook is like de-emphasizing news and doesn't like news. See, this is from 2022. Facebook puts news on the back burner as it continues to push video and creators. That's from The Verge. Anyways, I get the sense that Facebook is not a big fan of news these days. But the thing with my channel, it literally just costs the channel money and there's nothing I can do about it. It's infuriating. Peak Time Racing, no videos today, likes the mannequin. Awesome. Peak Time Racing, the webcam I ordered, but it doesn't get here until between April 3rd and April 8th because they're, I guess, popular on Amazon. Red Squirrel says, I was disappointed that Facebook removed its news section. I'm a news junkie. It was weird. You know, Facebook about 4 years ago, they really did a lot of outreach to creators. When they created Facebook Stars, which is this way you can donate like during live streams. They created it like 4 or 5 years ago, and I actually was part of like this group of creators. They reached out to different creators and they say we want you to test this, and they were really proactive. They had people working there, and they would email you, and we had this whole private message board of people who were testing it out, creators. And if I needed to, I could message the people who worked at Facebook about this Stars product and could contact them. And it just went away. It just all went away with no explanation, and like they just stopped caring about all the creators. They literally used to have people there who would interact with the creators. Just stopped happening. Completely stopped. Peak Time Racing says, yes, Facebook threw in the towel on their live streaming. I was a Facebook partner for gaming, and they completely stopped gaming support about a year ago. I had to switch up my content. Yeah, they were really pushing it for a while, and it's just, like Peak Time Racing said, they do not care about the creators. I can tell you live stream creators, they just don't really give a crap. All right, so that's what's going on with that. Yeah, Peak Time Racing mentioned a webcam. I ordered a new webcam because when I go on my trips, I bring my laptop with me and I use my webcam. And I've been having issues with getting like the color right. It's, I've been, when I stream on the webcam, when I stream live news coverage on the webcam, it just, the color is always a little off. It's hard to get like a decent picture. So Peak Time Racing's advice was that, well, a new camera should help. I mean, my old camera is like 8 years old, so I ordered a new webcam. So hopefully that might help things for when I'm traveling. I mean, it's not going to be as good as the camera I have right here, but and the one I use in the Agenda Free TV studio. But maybe it'll help things. I'm trying to show you this here. Like, where is the?
Sure, everything.
Yeah, so like, it doesn't look that bad. It's just it's the picture. I'm never really satisfied with it. It's never that. Feels like it should be a little better, and then like the shade of color will be wrong, or my skin tone will be off, and it's always kind of difficult. I mean, it's hard to get good lighting too, but it's always that's when I was in Paris. This stream right here is from Paris. But whenever I've used the webcam, I've just had some issues. Yeah, see, like this nice pose by me. My shirt isn't that color blue. And it's like, no matter what I do with the color with that camera, that webcam, either my face is the wrong color or the shirt's the wrong color. And, it gets a picture out. But I just feel like it should be a little bit better than that. So we're going to try a new camera and see how that goes. I was fed up the day I was covering that day. No, the day I was fed up was when I was trying to do the Super Tuesday coverage. Darren, it's called the Logitech, what is it? MX something? MX Brio? I don't even remember. It's their new one. It's a new camera. I gotta look it up. It's just like, these companies come out with cameras every so often. And so I think after 8 years is probably the right time. MX Brio, that's what it looks like. So. Ponyboy says, I have that one for work. Well, this is a new one. There was the MX, but this one just came out. If I'm showing you the right one. Yeah, this one just came out a few weeks ago. Ponyboy says yes. There you go. Lego Mike says, I use a Logitech, but I need to upgrade also. If I was just doing like Zoom calls with it, it'd be fine, but I'd like to see if I can up the quality a bit. 64 Heyday prefers Macs. I'm sure Macs are nice and good. I'm just so used to using the Windows stuff. Yeah, I agree with Peak Time Racing. Peak Time Racing says regarding Facebook, sometimes you just got to move on from stuff you have no control over. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's the way it is. Look at the positives of YouTube and other platforms that are working for you. I agree with you there. Thanks, Darren. Hey, J-Bone is here. Michael Sotart is here. Did I say as an Amazon associate, Steve earned some qualifying purchases? Because I was supposed to. All right, I also want to mention some other things. No, I'm not stopping on Facebook, but I might eventually have to. Eventually I might have to. Hang on. All right, so I had a couple things I wanted to discuss. What is going on here? Why am I getting... It's so weird. Why am I getting notifications? I'm looking at my Lookner channel Twitter account and I'm getting like notifications which are like suggested posts that I might want to see. I don't want to see that in my notifications. I just want to see when like people message me and stuff. Why is that happening? I got to look into that. That's a weird thing. Why am I seeing those? I gotta look into that later. That's annoying. Yeah, Polly, I've been trying to change the graphic on the screen from the Twitter bird to X for a while, but it's not as easy as you think to change it. It's not just, I have to actually get a new graphic. I was working on having it made and the person who was working on it got busy, so it just hasn't happened yet. It'll happen. I can't do it myself. It's a graphic thing. Cherry Sour says they started doing that. I don't know why. I don't remember ever seeing that before. No videos today. I'm glad the other viewer shared that video with you. I should go back sometime and watch some of the old streams. I mean, from years ago. I haven't in a while. Let's see. Christine Atherton is here. So anyways, that's really strange. Joe's Cran says, I found a Google picture and drew a thought bubble to go with it. That's what Joe's Cran said. What thought bubble did Joe draw? It says, can we read this? What does this say? Welcome to the party, Lookner. That's what it says. Welcome to the party, Lookner. Thank you, Joe's Crayons. Joan, we'll do a cooking stream soon. We will. We will. We're due to do one. I can't open the mail up again. I can't open up the UPS box for people to ship stuff until we do the cooking stream where I can use up the food stuff I have here. We need to do one cooking stream where I try a bunch of things. Then I can finally say people can mail stuff again. We were going to do it last week, but it got too busy. All right. Let's talk about a couple things here. Texas Snack Pack is still here. Hello. Okay, I want to talk about possible trip ideas. What is this? Oh my gosh. Tor Tenor is here. 64K Heyday is here. Air fryer, I usually make chicken tenders, fish, fillet tender things, some fries or tater tots. I get these ones from Whole Foods where they don't add stuff into it. They don't add like salt and fat into it or whatever. It's very, very little additives. Tom is here. TT is here. Carrie Rose is here. Okay. I have a couple ideas I want to discuss with you. Let's talk about a couple ideas I have. All right, so first is, you know where I'd like to go at some point? I'd like to do this at some point. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I lived in New York City for 4 years, but I only rarely went to Brooklyn and Queens or the Bronx. I think it'd be really neat to go to New York and spend some time visiting some places, like grabbing some food or whatever, and walking around a bit in Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx. Because I've spent so little time in Staten Island, by the way, because I've never been to Staten Island. So, that's just something I thought about for the future. I just think it'd be interesting to do. So many people live in those places. Millions of people live in those boroughs. I was watching some videos that people had done about them. Bronx, 1.4 million population. Queens, 2.3 million. Staten Island is almost 500,000 people. Oh, April Coco says Staten Island is my hometown. Mr. Malibu Surf says I'm from there. Marissa, are you on Staten Island? What do we have viewers? Do we have viewers who live in New York, not in Manhattan? Squid Ink is mentioning the South Shore beaches on Long Island. That's a whole different thing. Squid Ink is from Long Island. Wickedest Witch is born in Staten Island. Does anyone live there these days? Dookie says Queens. Bella Mia says, I don't know if Bella Mia's in Staten Island right now. Annie Cush is here on Twitch. Bella Mia says, I live in Staten Island. Okay. No, Jake from State Farm lives on Long Island, I think. Jesse is on Long Island. Yeah, I was just in Paris for 8 days, 3 weeks ago. I did a ton of live streams there. Tommy Yu says 6 years in Brooklyn, then Queens. It just feels like, it's like so many people live there. It's not that far away from me. I lived in Manhattan for 4 years. And I feel like I should know a little more about what it's like. Yeah, April says a lot of good food in the boroughs. Exactly. So, I mean, even if it's just going and walking around a bunch and just eating, you know, that's something. Then there's like parks and stuff and, you know. Oh, I was in Manhattan years and years ago. I haven't been in Manhattan for almost 20 years. So that's something I just kind of have on my distant list as something I would like to do. Black Widow is here. Oh, I've been to the Central Park Zoo and I've been to the Bronx Zoo, and I mean I've done a lot of Manhattan stuff because I lived there. I mean, although I haven't spent that much time there lately, but yes, I was in London a year and a half ago. But I just think like it's would be good to do. And again, so many people live there. Millions of people live there. I feel like I have like a deficiency not knowing anything like what these places are like. T-Sky says, go to the edge. Isn't that is that building with like a big view place? I think I've seen Twitch streams on it or TikToks on it. Taiwan I went to like 7 or 8 years ago. I knew somebody there. That was great. That was like for 3 weeks. Yeah, so T-Sky said that it has a glass floor, that place. Yeah, I've seen videos about it. So that's one thing I have. I mean, it's not like it's like you get to see the Eiffel Tower. Polly says you must come another 2 hours south and visit. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go to Jersey, Polly. That'd be fun. That would be fun. Maybe one day. Don't we have some regulars who are from the area? Quentin from Astoria. Is Astoria in Queens? Yeah, Astoria is in Queens. We do have a viewer named Quentin from Astoria. But I don't know if they live in Queens right now. I think we have another person from Queens too, with Queens in their name. April Coco says yes. Tracy Ralston, appreciate you tuning in. People are saying you could walk across Manhattan Bridge or Brooklyn Bridge or whatever. Yeah, sure. I mean, if I was there, you could definitely do that and stream doing that, which would be fun. But it would be good. It would be better if we. The other thing is, I probably have other friends who live in these places. I don't even realize they're there. I have to like check. I might very well know people who live these places. Friends of mine. I haven't even checked where they're living. But NYC, Katie Girl says NYC is my absolute top dream holiday. I've never been. It's really interesting. I mean, it's really different, than a lot of places. So it's really interesting. Brooklyn too. I've spent so little time there. What's the population of Brooklyn now? It's crazy. 2.68 million people live there. Hotel USA says Flushing in Queens is amazing. It's like stepping into Asia. I was watching a video about Queens, and it mentioned Flushing. It was talking about that, I believe. I think it was saying there's really good Asian food there. A lot of good food in the boroughs, as April Coco was saying, supposedly. J.A.N.P. says it's been nearly 20 years since I was in the city. April Coco says I went to high school in Brooklyn. Mr. Malibu Surf says Bensonhurst is a must. I don't even know where that is. Oh, Brooklyn. So, I mean, it would certainly not take a long time for me to get there. It's not a long trip. It's not the cheapest trip, though, in the sense of it's not that it's not expensive to get there. The big expense, I could take the train there. The expense would be just finding a place to stay. That's the expense. But it's not expensive to get there at all. And then once you're there, you can just take the subway to the places. I never went to Coney Island when I was there. No, you got to stay in the city. You just stay in the city somewhere and kind of just take trains different places and all that. I wonder if it would be cheaper if I'm not staying in Manhattan. I don't know. I mean, you want to stay somewhere you feel comfortable staying, where you can set up your stuff and all that stuff. So it's harder for me too, because I can't do one of these Airbnbs where you stay in somebody's room, because I could be up at 2 a.m. covering news for Agenda Free TV. So I don't think people want to deal with that. Do I remember my address? I remember some of the buildings I lived in. I lived at 56 and Broadway years ago. I think the building is still there. Tommy says there's hotels in Flushing that cost about $100 a day. I also got to figure out, though, it's possible that, maybe there's one location that you're better located. Druki says Airbnb is banned in NYC. Well, there's listings. There are listings on Airbnb. There's plenty of listings. Is that true? Or are they just not enforcing it, or what? Oh, here it is. So the Motley Fool does say it does say that in the Motley Fool article. So I didn't realize this. It says New York banned Airbnbs. Now, there's still listings. New York City passed strict regulations on Airbnbs and short-term rentals last fall, effectively banning them. Yeah, short-term rental hosts must be present during the stay and cannot rent full units. So that's why I saw so many stay in my room, because there's a lot of stay in my rooms. That's what it is. That's interesting because I was noticing that. Anyways, this is from Motley Fool. You know, a problem for me if I stay in a hotel is a lot of times in the hotels, the internet isn't good. And then, you know, what if I need to cover news on my laptop? That makes it really hard if the internet isn't good to do video. Squid Ink, says if you decide to go, I have some good places like the Ravel in Long Island City. It's right next to Queensboro Bridge. A Broadway show or two? I don't know. I mean, if I went to like see the place, I'm sure it's fun and all, but I just don't really need to do it. I would just be more interested in like going around and live streaming and showing people stuff. Tommy says the 7 train from Flushing to Midtown takes about 35 to 40 minutes. Anyways, I'll have to do some more research on this. Annie Kush, isn't Dayron a streamer on TikTok who streams in LA? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm just wrong about that. Let's see. No, this is just for the future. I may go to Florida in April. It's not totally set in stone yet, so I don't know. It's possible in April I'll go to Florida for a visit, but that's not totally set in stone. This is different than that, though. This is just something I've been thinking about for the future. Get some Brooklyn pizza, says April Coco. No, Airbnb wouldn't be okay in Brooklyn, Daniel, if New York banned Airbnb, because Brooklyn's in New York City. This is an article from Wired from October. New York's Airbnb ban is descending into pure chaos. People are listing short-term rentals on social media and lesser-known platforms, bolstering a rental black market in New York City. Many illegal short-term rental listings are now being advertised on social media and lesser-known platforms, with some still seemingly being listed on Airbnb itself. The crackdown in New York has created a black market for short-term rentals in the city, claims Lisa Grossman, a spokesperson for Restore Homeowner Autonomy and Rights, a local group that opposed the law. People are going underground, she says. People are using sites like Craigslist, Facebook, Hoofy, and others where they can search for guests or places to book without the checks and balances of booking platforms like Airbnb. Hmm. Anyways, if you want to read this, you can read that. That's interesting. I didn't realize that they had banned it in New York City. Yeah, Laura, it's possible that some hotels have better internet. That I'd have to look into. It's not cheap staying in a hotel in New York City. Anyways, so that's one idea I'm looking into. That's one idea I'm looking into for the future. Just something I'm thinking about. In addition to lots of other things. But it's something I'm thinking about. Now there's something else I wanted to mention to you. This is a little crazier. I have a little bit of a crazier idea that I'm thinking about. This is really for the future. This next idea. Thanks to our mods, by the way, who are modding. We have modding right now. Jake says, a lot of viewers in NY, we should have a meetup. Hey, if I visit New York City or something. Good to see you, Jake. Raven Riley's modding. AJ is modding. JANP. K. Rob Zoso is here. So let me talk about my other idea. I want to see what you guys think about this. This is a bit crazy, this idea. I don't know if this is realistic, but I have an idea. No, I'm not going to do van life. S Cub says, I bet it's not crazy. No, I can see going to Australia at some point, but that's different. That's maybe like next winter or something. That's a whole long trip too. That's different. I don't think that's crazy. It's long. So, one thing I've always wanted to do in my life that I've never done, and I've often told myself, and I think I've said it on the streams before, if I had more time in my life, I would do this. So, I have told you in the past that if I had like Bill Gates money, I would just travel a lot more because I really enjoy traveling to different places. So I've said that. But I believe I've also said that if I had lots of extra hours every day, a thing I would do is I would learn another language. And not just sort of learn it, like really learn another language. I always, for years, have thought it would be incredibly cool, and I've regretted not knowing another language. But I just figured, like, I don't have the time to learn another language. But when I was going to Paris, I did a few weeks of like Duolingo French just to learn some French. And I did notice that I had some French before years ago, and I did notice that I was starting to pick it up a bit. So when I was in high school, I took Spanish for like 6 years between junior high and high school. So I have some Spanish background. So my crazy thought was, this is really crazy. I don't know if this can happen, is to refresh and learn Spanish well enough that I could visit a country where they speak Spanish and interact with people in Spanish a lot. I mean, this would have to be way in the future because I'm not close now. But it's like a life goal of mine. Like if I could learn Spanish well enough to go to a country and really interact with people there, I don't know if this is possible. I don't know if it's possible for me to like learn Spanish well enough to interact with people without like already immersing myself in some country for months with the people already there. But I do enjoy like doing these online programs and stuff. And I do have a background in it. So it would be like a life goal. Like I have always wanted, actually, Polly, I have started using Babbel Spanish. A couple days ago, I started doing some Babbel Spanish. Babbel is kind of like Duolingo. It's a little different. But they have these online courses and stuff. You can just do at your leisure. You know, when you have a little spare time, you can just do it. So even at 2 a.m. or whatever. Alibaba says there's so many different dialects that might be very difficult. Really? Because there's different dialects? I don't mean being like fluent everywhere. I just mean like go to the point where I could go somewhere and just have my regular interactions be in Spanish. And then if I meet somebody, maybe talk to them a bit in Spanish and understand what they're saying. April says Dominican Republic is nice. I would even go to like Mexico, or I mean, there's all these places that speak Spanish. It's a very popular language. I gotta say, like I may or may not go to Miami soon. But even if you went to a place like that and went to Little Havana, and you could speak to people in Spanish, I think that'd be super cool. But there's a difference between having some background in it and being able to speak it well enough to interact with people and know what they're saying. So this is not something that would happen in a week or a month or anything like that. Yeah, the Ring, I know you can use an app to speak to and it translate what somebody says. That's not the point though. The point is I have always wanted to learn another language. And I just think that would be a really cool thing to do in life, is to learn another language well enough that you can communicate with people in a different language. So I'm thinking about it. April says in Little Havana, they only speak Spanish. So I'm thinking about it. Daniel says you should just do it. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a life goal. And I'm like, well, maybe I could. I mean, I just Polly thinks it's a great idea. You know, it just, because my experience in doing the Duolingo, the French Duolingo in my preparation for the Paris trip, I was able to make some progress. And I didn't do it for that long. And I definitely, after, like, I was kind of doing like some Duolingo practice every day for like 3 weeks. I could see myself improving some. So, you know, doesn't have to be, it could be next year. Could I practice for a year and improve enough by next year? Well, but in Paris, yeah, I mean, I was able to like order stuff in Paris, but I didn't really understand what people were saying. That's the problem, is when people start talking, it's so fast and you don't know what they're saying. But I didn't have much French background, so the Ring says Rosetta Stone. They have all these different courses. Carlos says if you learn it, you can speak it in all Spanish-speaking countries. Well, I will say that if I could learn it, there are a number of countries I could visit. I think. I won't be the best speaker there, and I don't have to have the best conversations. Alibaba says, I think a year could give you a basic skill. I will say this, though. I mean, one thing you can do, I mean, you can find plenty of Spanish videos online. There's Spanish news online. So you can kind of see how you're coming along by I can just turn on a Spanish news report and see if I can understand what they're saying. You'll know pretty quick if you're making progress or not. You know? Tommy Wilson says too long. Foundation U says you will really like the whole experience. Just something I'd really like to do. Mary McHugh says there's Spanish lesson YouTube videos. She says that too. I like that they have these courses online, and then you can kind of just, if you have 15 free minutes, you can do a little bit here, do a little bit there. Oh, the dude says slow their speaking down. It'll help a lot. That's interesting. You can watch like a Spanish news video and you can slow the speed down like on YouTube. That's interesting. Right. And LA King says practice it with someone in person or online. I do think once you get enough of a background in it, it doesn't help me right now, but once you get enough of a background, you could find someone to practice with, and that would probably be extremely helpful. Kay says, and maybe stay there for a while to be immersed in the language culture. Who knows? Who knows? But you know, people, it's such a difference when people are speaking at their natural speed. But I think it would be really cool. I think it'd be super cool. And it's something I always wanted to do. I feel like I'm missing out on something, not being able to speak a second language. Joe says, just learn conversational Spanish at first, the rest will come easier. You know, these online courses like Babbel and stuff and Duolingo, they don't throw a lot of it is conversational. Like they're not just like teaching you, they're not just like learn these 100 words and learn these verb conjugations. They're kind of they kind of give you some different, especially Babbel, they give you some of the hardcore stuff, but they also just give you like basic expressions and stuff. The dude says, my Spanish friends slow it down while talking to me. It's helped me a lot, like I said. Hey, look, I'll say this. When Tom Perez got up there during the press conference for the bridge collapse, it was like the second or third day. And Tom Perez, who's a White House advisor, got up there and he spoke in Spanish, but he slowed it down. I understood what he said. I could understand what he said. So I don't have no background. I do have some background. I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be fun to do a trip. Of course, it'd be really fun if I knew it enough to do a trip and then could stream and talk to you guys about it, you know? Oh, I didn't hear the governor speak Spanish, Kay. I'd really like to do it. It seems like such an ambitious goal, though. Okay says he did right at the end same day. You know what? I probably wasn't even paying attention. I don't even remember. I don't know what I was doing. I mean, I was there. I just forget. J.A.N.P. wants to learn it for personal reasons as a life goal. Wickedest Witch says just do it. I think what you need to do is Daniel thinks it's a realistic goal. I mean, I think the way you do it is you can't do it all in one day. You got to just kind of commit to regularly doing practice. I mean, that's what I did with French for a few weeks before I went to Paris. Definitely improved after a while. Yeah, Barbara Crossley says life is short. Do what you want to do before it's too late. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm kind of thinking that. Rob says eat the elephant one bite at a time. Laura G says my dad was learning Spanish to talk to the only neighbors he liked. You know, we all have our things we would like to do. And that's just something I think would be a really cool thing to do. To just be able to talk to somebody else in a different language. I mean, I will say this. If you I'll say this too. There's no like big rush in theory. My guess is if I just kind of just started practicing, I mean, it could take 2 years. I would think if you just kind of stayed with it, you'd pick a lot up. If you stay with it long enough. It's very different now. When I was in school, there was no internet, so I mean, there's much more. Just the fact that like when you take one of these online courses, you just are hearing people talk in Spanish and stuff, like just that alone. Because it used to be much more when I was like in like junior high and high school. A lot of it was like you would like read it and write it, and you weren't speaking it and hearing it. Texas Annie says the older you are, the harder it is to learn a new language usually. Well, I think it's easiest when you're like really, really young, but that time is gone. Daniel Boberson's optimistic. I don't know. We'll have to see. Bella says, when I was in school, they used records. Gail says, I'm almost 60, but I have gone from almost zero Spanish to speaking basic sentences in 1 year with my students. Anyway, so that's like a distant goal. That's a distant goal. Carlos says, I learned a lot of English just by watching television. S. Cub says, I really like Rosetta Stone. You don't hear anything in English, so you hear the proper way to say it and you see how it's written. You therefore learn to read it or at minimum recognize words. I don't even know what the idea behind Rosetta Stone is. How does Rosetta Stone work? The monotropic guitarist is here. Laura G is here. April Coco thinks it's a good goal. Watch Spanish TV with English subtitles. I think my Spanish is so basic right now that I don't think I don't think I'm ready to watch TV yet. Kay says my ex-husband learned English by watching Western movies. Patty is bilingual. S. Cub says Rosetta Stone is pictures and they say the words and you basically play match. Sarah Lauren says you should do it. It's a great goal. I prefer speaking Spanish when I go to Mexico. Well, I'm thinking about it. But again, it's the kind of thing you just kind of, if you want to do it, you got to just start practicing and just do it over time. Keep it up over time. Do some every day. It'd be really neat. Ruth says, just start doing it a little bit at a time. Jess C says, I hear people speaking Spanish every day here in NY. So I am thinking about that. I am thinking about that. But I do have, I have a background in it because I took it for like 6 years. Daniel says you could go to NYC in many areas and practice. Well, there's probably places around here I could go and practice. And you can like practice with people online and stuff too. I don't think I can take. For right now. I'm not going to sign up for a class. I don't know. I got to have flexibility in my schedule to like cover news and stuff, and we'll see how much I can do on my own. And anyways, maybe you guys can ask about it once in a while and hold me to it. But I would really like to. It'd be super cool. The monotropic guitar says online classes are great for languages. All right, so there's that. There's that. I do need to plan the next Europe trip. Something that's interesting is, or the next trips to another country. Something that is interesting is that. So I have been thinking of going to the Netherlands because we have a couple of viewers in the Netherlands. Sarah says the backseat linguist will remind you. Thank you. We have some viewers in the Netherlands who live in different places there. So I've thought about going to the Netherlands. You know what I didn't realize? What I did not realize? I was watching some Netherlands videos by this channel Wolter's World, which I think is a very good travel channel, Wolter's World. And he says that in the Netherlands, most people actually speak English. He says this several times in his videos. That people in the Netherlands generally speak English and they speak it well, which is, I had no idea this. I did not know this at all. Had no idea. Hey, Eddie Smith is here. Hey, Eddie. Eddie says, that's why I do everything online, can make your own schedule. Good to see you, Eddie. Patty says Dutch are pretty fluent. Barbara Crossley says, yes, they do. Because that just makes it an even easier trip. That might be what puts me over the edge. Yeah, so... Yeah, the monotropic guitar says all you have to do is get better at English. No videos today says that's the case with Northern Europe. Is that the case in Scandinavia too? T-Sky says everybody speaks it in Israel. Well, I'm not going to Israel anytime soon. I'd like to go at some point though. Susan says most people speak it in Germany. Anne Irvine Andre is here. So I think that would be a fun trip. I need to talk more with I've been talking to a couple of our viewers in the Netherlands and talk more about that with them. Anna says, I learned a lot of language by watching English films with subtitles of the language I was learning. So I'm kind of thinking about that. I'm kind of thinking about the Netherlands. Oh, another cool thing that I heard about the Netherlands, which I like the idea of, is I was watching some videos that said like, it's just really pretty there because there's like all these canals and also a lot of the architecture is really great. And one thing I loved about Paris is just like wherever I walked around, I was like, this is awesome looking. It's gorgeous. I could just stare at all the buildings. And I really love that. And I do think that if that's true about the Netherlands, it'd be really fun to just, because I love walking places. So I like that idea. Jay, this is not a new camera. It's just when we assembled this new studio, the camera works better. We kind of fixed the lighting so it would work better. Raven Riley says, love the Netherlands. Thank you, Kinetic, for modding tonight. Alibaba says, I really liked it in the Netherlands. Thanks, Jay. But I got to get on it because some of these places are much better to visit when it's warmer out than colder out. So although the Netherlands doesn't get that freezing in the winter. Overseas by ship. Well, it's tough because I can't really do live streams on a Agenda-Free TV on a boat. So, unfortunately, with like ship's internet. Daniel says Amsterdam is a city where everywhere is a postcard view with the canals, etc. The dude says, I loved Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Carlos says, Venice is also a postcard to every turn. Isn't Venice like flooding now? But, you know, like with these trip things, you just got to plan them. You know, April says, we liked Costa Rica. Rainforests, volcanoes, beaches, nice people. With these trips, remember with like when I went to Paris, before I went and I booked the trip, I was like, this seems really crazy. I don't know about this. This seems like a really crazy thing to do. And then, of course, we went and it was super fun. So you just got to do it. You just got to pick a place and do it. It can be scary, but you just do it. No one's telling you when to do it. You just do it. Polly says, it's not your internet speed, but I found out my ship I'm sailing on is Starlink internet. I hear good things. So Polly, did you actually book a cruise? Did you book your cruise? That's great. Karen Belial is here. Yes, Evelyn, the Van Gogh Museum is in Amsterdam. Can you expense your trips since you're streaming them? My understanding is something like roughly, it has to be the purpose of your trip, the main purpose of your trip. So like when I went to Paris, the main purpose was as a business trip. It was not like sightseeing. And so I was streaming a lot when I was there. So I can't go somewhere and basically as a vacation and stream a couple times and say, oh, I'm tax deducting the whole trip. It doesn't work that way. But the tax deduction comes if you're doing the trip for work. So this is what it would be if the trips I'm talking about doing a work trip where the main goal is to be able to do content. LBDK says, we were in Hague for a couple days in December a year ago. It was great. Coming from Denmark, we could understand some Dutch words, which was fun, but we talked with people in English. Only the smaller cities did we meet people who didn't like to speak English. Polly is booked for a cruise in August. Very nice, Polly. Where are you going? The Hague, right? Is that Hague, The Hague? Biz R says it sounds like there's white noise. Does anyone having this issue? No one else has complained about the sound. I can listen to the sound right myself. Sounds like white noise? Is there a problem? Usually everybody's complaining if there's a problem. And I have not been getting complaints. Everybody's saying no. Everybody's saying no. There might be one thing going on. Hold on. No, what's happening is there's a bit of an echo in this room, which is supposed to be fixed. But I need to put something on the wall. And it was supposed to get done 2 weeks ago, and it got delayed because I need to the handyman's going to come over and help me put it on the wall. So that's probably what you're hearing when I talk. There's a bit of an echo because there's supposed to be something dampening the sound. It's not bad, but it's being planned. It just hasn't gotten done yet. It was supposed to get done a couple weeks ago and it got delayed. Faint static? I haven't heard any faint static. I don't know what you guys are hearing. There might be one thing going on. Hold on. There might. No, what's happening? Because I need to the handyman's going to come over and help me put it on the wall. So yeah, I'm not. There's room tone. I think people are hearing the tone of the room, which I think is what you hear. I think generally speaking, if you're watching somebody streaming, you don't hear like utter silence in between the time they're talking. You hear rooms have these general sound going on in the room when you're not talking. Ambient sound or whatever. So Alibaba says you sound good through Sony Studio headphones. Cynthia says some people may be sensitive to sounds. Polly says it's probably the guy behind you. Eugene Beecher says sounds like it usually does. Did Polly say where he was going? Oh, he's going to the Caribbean? Oh, wow. Where's he going? Where's Polly going? No, I will not be streaming The Handyman. Gas on the Brain is here. Polly is going from NYC to a bunch of Caribbean destinations. Nice, nice. Very nice. Brianna Lucifer Shane says I should learn Greek and Klingon. Polly says going to San Juan, St. Thomas, Tortola, and Dominican Republic. Wow. Polly, take some pictures. You can share with us when you get back. Hey, Walter Beasley is here. Hey, Walter, what's going on? Tortola is an island in the British Virgin Islands. A happy Easter to all who celebrate it, by the way. Happy early Easter. Anna says, learn Spanish and then go to lots of Spanish-speaking countries. Well, if in the future I can manage to do it, I would certainly consider doing that. It is a goal of mine, as I said, as I mentioned. Will I be doing a stream for Easter? Not specifically for Easter. I normally don't. A few years ago, someone sent a ham, so I cooked a ham on Easter. That was a whole interesting thing. A ham and pineapple. But I don't plan on doing a Easter stream specifically for Easter. We might happen to stream on Easter. You know what you might be hearing also? It's very windy out. It's very windy out right now. So you may be hearing wind stuff because I can hear the wind blowing outside sometimes. Unfortunately, I don't have a bunny costume, so I can't do that. Jackie M is here. Oh, thanks, Soul Food Cooking. Thank you. Yep, we got the lighting in the background. We got some merch. That's one of these days. I'll find my old YouTube plaque and put it up in the back. I still haven't found it. I know it's here. The hot dog, I think, got thrown out, Polly. It was so dirty you couldn't wash it. Testing 1, 2. You know, the levels aren't even that high on this. I'm looking at my levels. They're not that high. It's not like they're in the red right now. I also want to do in the next couple weeks, maybe as it's getting a little warmer, maybe we'll do some, if it's not busy news-wise, we'll do some walks during the day now that it's warm. Soul Food Cooking says you can order a replacement plaque. It's here somewhere. It's definitely here somewhere. Hey, Athletics came by. Good to see you, Athletics. So... yeah, I do want to do some more walking streams as it's nice out. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Mark says for the plaque, I would look on a top shelf of a closet or under the bed. I think it's in maybe one of the boxes in the basement. Or there's another room with some boxes. I need to just spend a little time and go through all the boxes. Polly says we need to do a barbecue. That would be fun. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Joe liked the taco stream. John thinks some people are possibly hearing the acoustical reverb that's natural to the studio setup. I think there'll be less reverb when I have my thing on the wall set up. William says loud thunder in Northwest Illinois. Box hunt stream? No, I don't think we're going to do that. I just need to look. I just need to look. You know what I did a few days ago? I did this thing where I went around. The mop got me excited. So I went like in both bathrooms here, and I kind of went around the corner where the tile floor hits like the wall and hits the tub. And I never had really gone out and really like gotten all the stuff out of there. And it makes a big difference. When you get that part between the floor and the wall clean, every time I go in the bathroom now, I'm like, wow, that looks clean. It makes such a big difference. You just got to get down there and do it. Get down there and do it. Got a microfiber cloth, got some cleaning solution, and I just did it. It made a huge difference. I recommend doing it. Gets a little dusty and stuff, and you ignore it, but it makes such a difference. I think that's part of why I hurt my back. In addition to the mopping, I was down on my knees doing that, and I think that's what caused me to hurt my back like a week ago, but it's feeling a lot better. The mold in the bathroom? Oh, that was by the window. Yeah, we pretty much took care of that. So I did get a bunch of cleaning done. Then you get momentum. You start doing some cleaning and you want to do more. You get really into it. Squid Ink, the problem with I don't think there's a clue on our past streams where I put the plaque, because what happened is when the place where I live was getting painted about 6 months ago, I kind of in a rush put everything away because the painters just had to had to paint the different rooms. And so I was just kind of rushing around putting stuff away, and I put it somewhere when I put it away to protect it from the painters. Protect it from the paint, and that's what happened. So I didn't do that on a stream. The monotropic guitar says cleaning becomes a bit of a hobby. Start getting fancy tools and stuff. Yeah, it's fun, and then you get your place cleaner. All right, I think we're getting, as I have said, the streams have their natural length. Hey, Katie girl, I hope you feel better. The streams have their natural length. I think we might be getting to the natural end of the stream, It's kind of feeling like that. I think we're getting to that time. Nobody commented that I'm wearing a sweater tonight. I normally don't wear sweaters like this. No one cares. Athletics just got here. How are you, Randy, by the way? Randy, what's going on? Are you mad about the A's moving, supposedly, Randy? Jamila says it's getting late. Bizarre. No news unless it's an emergency on this channel. You can message me with it on X. But thank you, Bizarre, for writing in. Hey, Barbara Crossley, thanks for being a member. Did Randy say anything about the A's? Excuse me. Any new merchandise? Maybe in the future, Chris. I gotta get into that and look it up. I'm not sure if there's any more I can make, any new stuff. Randy says, I've been busy working my new position. What is your new position? I hope you got promotion or something. Oh, someone commented on your sweater earlier, says Wicked a Switch. There you go. Not that it's that great of a sweater, but it's a little different. Why don't we thank our moderators for being here? Hey, Astra is there. What's up, Astra? Randy is now the director of manufacturing at his audio company. They make audio, like speakers and stuff. Hey, Randy, nice work. Director of manufacturing. Wow. Very nice. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what the sweater is made out of. I can't remember. At one point I knew. I don't know if it's like, it sort of feels like it might be wool, but I don't know if it's wool. Maybe it's just cotton or something, or some kind of mix. Here, I'll check. Hold on. I'm going to check what it's made out of. You can look at the Google while I check. I'm checking right now what it's made out of. It says it's made out of, geez, that is small. Hang on, I'm finding this. Am I even on the right label? Polyester, 100% polyester, guys. If you guessed 100% polyester, you are right. 100% polyester. It's soft on the inside. It feels like it's softer than wool on the inside. It's nice though. It's comfy. I got it at Old Navy, I think. It wasn't even that expensive. It's like a little half zipper thing or quarter zipper. Hey, thanks to our moderators. David Green, Big Ball of Yarn, and Sarah were over there on Twitch. AJ, Raven Riley, JAMP, K Body, Cynthia Moon. I think Ruben Urban might have stopped by briefly. Sometimes Ruben's, I wish he would stay longer. Sometimes he's been popping in. I'd like to see how he's doing. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming by the stream. And yeah, Ruben Urban did stop by. I just didn't get a chance to say hi to him. It's too bad. JANP was here too, as Kay mentioned. BZ stopped by. Marky is here. Marky not 5950 is here. Hey, Marky. So I really appreciate you, all the mods, and appreciate all of you guys coming by. And hey, Foundation U was turning in for the first time. Thanks, Foundation U, for tuning in for the first time tonight. I'm glad you came by. Hopefully we see you again. Oh, thanks, Kinetic. Yeah, send me the pics, Kinetic. Kimberly Barr was here. So this was fun. Thanks for discussing potential trip ideas with me and possibly learning Spanish for the future, for some time in the future. Wickedest Witch says, Que tengas una linda noche. I don't know what linda means. Is that like, hope you have a good night or something? I'll have to. Buenas noches. I know what that means. That I know. Now, I got some studying to do. Anyways, I appreciate you guys coming by. Athletics, Randy, I hope we see you again soon. We can catch up some more. That'd be great. Congrats on the new gig. Kinetic, Jackie M, thanks for being here. Kay, Evelyn in Maine. Laura G, Lego Mike, no videos today. Marissa Pugliese, Barbara Crossley. AJ, I said AJ was modding, right? I hope. Ryan the Gamer, Texas Annie, Darren Markley, Ruth Krafasi, Laura G, 3K8 Gaming, April Coco, and Hetty Silovitz, and Peak Time Racing, Squid Ink. Squid Ink says, let's make the chat strictly Spanish from now on to help Steve out faster. And Theodore Johnson. Thanks, Marky, for following over there on Twitch. Hotel USA, enough about the aliens. Jeez. Hotel USA. Man. Enough. My head hurts from reading that same sentence again and again and again. Texas Andy, thanks for being here. Hey, thanks also everybody, all the gift memberships. We got a lot of gift memberships tonight. People like Baronico and Geraldine Carsonson, T-Sky, Red Squirrel. A lot of gift memberships. Thanks for your support. Daniel Boberson, Janet Burnett, Paulie, our member. All of our members. Red Squirrel, new member. Barbara Crossley, all of our other members, thank you. A lot of members. Marzell, thanks for being here. Paula Faust, thanks for being here. Birds in Flight, thanks for being here. Astra, thank you for being here, Astra. Hey, if there's big news tonight, there might be. You never know. If there is, we will certainly cover it. I think that as the last week's show, you never know what's going to happen with the news. Stuff happens where you just could never predict it. You never know what's going to happen. Jess C, thanks for being here. Roy Stalin, thanks for being here. Kay says, I think we're ready for our theme song. More live streams to come. All right, guys, wrapping this up. Fun stream, good crowd, enjoyed it. More streams to come, but that's it right now. So unless there's big news later tonight, then I'll come back on the air. That is it for now. Thank you for watching. Hey, make sure you sign up for Lookner channel on Twitter, where I sometimes post some bonus content. Lookner channel. And also sign up for the Discord notifications so you know when we're coming live. Well, I always post it on Lookner channel when we're going live, at Lookner channel. But sign up for the Discord notifications because then that's the best way to get notified when we're going live. Hans Niskatuki, thanks for being here on Twitch. Luann, thanks for being here. The mods just posted that Discord notifications link. But sign up for the Discord notifications. Those work really well so you know when we're going live. All right. That is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will see you very, very soon.